We might be going now. Let's see. All right, we're going now. Let's see. All right. Is it live or is it Valheim Mix? So this is day 3. I'm going to highlight my doggies here did a good job. I'm going to highlight the build that we've been working on. And I'm first going to mention something. Got a little challenge going from Salion, my fellow streamer, 3 or so months ago when I did the run through with Rusty and Witchy, and we got all the way to fight Fodder, whichever way you say it. It was with Salion. There were a couple others who came and went, but it was him and I, and Witchy and Panda and Rusty were the key folks for that. And so Salion and I, and he's done one since then. But anyway, he's a really good builder. This is a very subtle Chateau de Salion fortress that he's building. And he's going to build a lighthouse over there on that dry land corner. But he's like, hey, you know, I'm going to build a dock for the fishing boats to come up and sell their fish to the, the fish plant processing, people. So maybe you could build a fishing dock. I'm like, well, I don't know if I have a lot of time. I got maybe an hour. So here's what I did in an hour yesterday. And I made a fishing hut. Be just a sec. So in response to the Salion fishing hut challenge, this is what I built. So that obviously, if I move that back, the brazier back a little, it runs into your head. But if it's forward this far, it's still in the weather. So obviously I need to fix that. I need to bring a forge over here and fix that, and I will. But this is my deal. This is my entry to the challenge, response to the challenge. You can sit on these and still be protected. See, the wet is going down because I'm out of the wet now. And, we got nothing here. I figured, nighttime fishing, you have a spotlight that fish come to. This is a fish location. There's fish there. You see them right there. There's one right below me. I can't zoom in anymore so you can see, but you can actually catch fish here. For example, here's one of my small ones. I got a fillet table, fillet knife on the butcher. That's a level 3, I think, pike, number 3. So, obviously I need to re-bring a forge over here so I can move that brazier a little more, but I think that's not bad. One thing I could do perhaps is add the awning style, the peak roof. If I had a 26-degree roof, I think I'll do it that way. So, I'm not worried about that. This is not the video for that. So, what we were on about for this was day 3 of the Trellborg Barracks in the Netherlands. There's the dig site, Trellborg. They've found Viking fortress. It was a ring fortress, and in that, the historians built there were the footprint of several longhouses, and the historians built their version of it. Now, in Valheim, we can't do gently curved, so the walls on the ground should be slightly bowed outward, and then the roof should be slightly bowed at the end. But we really can't do that without mods. We're not doing those mods on this server. I will do them on Sven's own playthrough server. And this is what we can do, though. So we got a little scaffolding up still. I've done a couple of things. I got to get in and show you. But today, I fixed. Remember, the height wasn't quite right on these things. I fixed all that. And I'm highlighting the idea that these are floating above the board. They're floating, I call it, floating the roof on top of the beams. So out of the 3 methods, this one is the tallest gap, I guess we'll call it. It's the most highlighted. Others you could get where that cross beam on the roof tile would be in the wood, and that would be probably the more natural way they would do it, would be kind of notch it in there to the beam. But I went without that. Once again, this is my shooting range for leveling. Got a couple targets. You know, these guys are always bothering us. You know, you need to repair your bow. Here's a protected workbench. So 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters, 40 meters, and this becomes just like what I had in the Marines. We had 200 meters, 300 meters, and 500 meters. And iron sights, you know, iron sights, baby. In my time, we didn't have the ACOGs. And qualified expert. I just blew qualifying expert on the 500 meters. I changed my windage wrong. I needed to add some notches, and I subtracted. So I was misshooting by a lot more suddenly instead of less, and you know. But I still shot sharpshooter, which was the middle of the qualifications. And then one other year out of my 6, I shot sharpshooter, and then the other 4 years I shot expert. So I did know how to do it. I just messed up in boot camp. You know, noob mistake. Anyway, so we got a shooting range if we want to challenge each other. And I probably have to move that target a little more to the right, or move these a little more to the left, but that'd make it awkward here, you know. So I went with this for now. That's not what we're doing today. Probably the first thing I want to do is I want to put this under the eaves. So I need to find my stone cutter. Oh, and before I do anything of moving, it's moving stuff day, I wanted to show you the house. The original house was the Type 2 Valheim house, Type 2, the one you can find the silver, if you're lucky, you can find the silver axe head for the early axes in it. And I did find that. It wasn't this exact one, but this was the back wall, and it was 3 wide, and then the A-frame draped to the ground. And I made it into 4 wide. You see, it was this wide, and then the A-frame touched the ground there. So I made it taller and wider for, you know, I'm claustrophobic. I can't handle that. I can't handle that. So, but I didn't show you the back of the house because it was swallowed up by this build. This is my brew house, you know, and I at one point had my portal here, and cart was right here, so I could fly and land, and I had to run around the house, you know, with my piles of stuff in my inventory. But this is the back of the house. So step 1, showing off the house. Step 2, I'm going to show you before we really get into the build. I'm going to show you the highlight of one of the mods. I showed you on the first day of this build series, and I showed you all the rest of them but the one last time. And I'll catch that. So this is my compact house. I showed this previously. You know, I floating the... If I put beams under, you could raise the pine wood bed, table rather, that little bit higher, and you could tuck one of these chests under it so you can nest it a little bit more. This one's nested because it's under the bed, which is on top of the table, so that's why that one fits. But you can fit 3 in there, no problem. And then 1 tucked under each end, so it's efficiency build. You know, if you're trying to cram stuff into a tight space, you know, if you're one of those like me that likes to fix and refresh and build up the original buildings that you find on the map, you know, I'll go wherever I go, and I'll find a new map house, and it's getting towards evening and I need to rest. I'll just find whatever house I find there, I'll build it up. And this is one of the ways to fit stuff in there, you know, because they're only 3 wide. It's really tight, so this helps you get your storage and stuff going on. But of course you have to have an axe that'll do fine wood to do that table, but no big deal. Without that, you can put the boards, you know, these are the little 1 meter squares that are underneath here. You can put those over the top of the chests, or 2 meter squares, whichever you want, and make, you know, shelves and walls and make your efficiency build work that way. No problem. I don't know. Seppi is on right now. I'm in a different voice channel. I don't know that he's gonna um, want to sleep. Yesterday we went to the mountains and did a crystal cave or two. I had to do a recovery run with him, and City Witchy came on, and helped do the recovery. You know, she got down into the cave with him while I was still trying to catch up. But we had to make a boat and sail back across the ocean and establish a base camp and a foothold and work our way up the mountain and down a portal. And you know, while I was waiting for him to catch back up, he passed me. I didn't know it. They went down and recovered his corpse. City's pretty awesome. So anyway, then we went up on top of the mountain, Seth and I, and did four silver nodes so far. There's, you know, the flashing of your wishbone. There's probably 2 more in the same place. So you know what probably happens. They do a risk reward combo is kind of what they do. High risk, high reward. So imagine what the game would throw at you if there's 6 silver nodes in the same portion of the mountain, like almost touching each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row, pretty much. We started off with 2 rock golems. We had 2 more. We had wolves. We had drakes. We had more. Every time we went back, we'd clean out one of those holes and bring the silver home, get it smelting, and go back. There's another golem to fight again and again and again. So that was a lot of fun, man. But that's what we do, you know. That's what we do. It was fun. So this is going to highlight one of the mods. I probably want to pick that wood back up real quick. That's Auto Store by Azamat. And that reminds me, the other mod that I want to highlight is, allows you to do this. Watch this. It's a server notification mod. So you can send messages across. The admins can send messages across. You keep track of your deaths and everyone else. And yeah, that's a lot for me at this stage. I've never said I'm a no death runner. I'm not that guy. So deaths with not the my, that's everybody's. So I'm doing okay. Not terrible. It's we're so used to progressing fast and having super weapons and stuff, and you know, when you have a lot of people, things will sneak up behind you and whack you in the back of the head. Like I got yeeted off the mountain by one of the stone golems yesterday, and we got the raid for the you're being hunted. I can't remember what else, but you know, a couple more deaths at least yesterday, maybe 3 or 4, and it was like we were just constantly harassed by all these mobs. So it happens, just saying. All right, so this there's other functions. There's some admin functions, like there's something where you can type raid, and this is by Rusty Laser Gaming on the Thunderstore. You look for one word, Rusty Heathen's Messenger, and this is a server messenger mod where there's you know, I think the raid one is for admins can say, hey, we're going on a raid, get ready, you know, kind of a message. I'm not sure if that's true, but it helps keep track of how many deaths you have and everyone else. So when you die, up pops a message, and it's creative little phrases saying, you know, sayings that everyone sees. Everyone sees, you know, Joe died again, or really Leroy Jenkins died again, you know, kind of messages, and the number is in the death counter for everyone. So you know, we can have bragging rights and whatnot. So anyway, great mod. Recommend it. It's been upgraded and improved and refined and fixed, and he finally published it, and it's really fantastic mod. Rusty Heathen's Messenger. Alright, so that was step 2, and then 3 we are working on. Before we go on, I want to show one thing with the any plant because I'm helping out. The reason I have the cultivator in my pocket. I'm helping out. And I'm going to guess this is Seth. It's the door lever opener. Alright, so plant easily is the mod, not plant anything. And it allows you to mass pick. I don't know if this is a vanilla thing or not, but the mod allows you to do this, I believe. And I'll run around and pick up all the sparklies in a minute, but right now, so we just got into the onions like yesterday. Rusty found, I don't know, 4 onion seeds or something like that. Found another one later. And in this many hours, we've turned it into hundreds and thousands and demonstrating this mod. And it's because when they get on, if they get on today, I want it to be where we have buku onions. So I have done 6 turnovers of the farm to get us to the point we have, you know, I was up till the wee hours of the morning. You know, like Gunny Highway says, this doesn't mean we're going to take showers together into the wee hours of the morning. You know, so not that. So we have all these seeds. So you have your cultivator, and you pick. And so I have onion seeds. You plant an onion to get more seeds, or you plant seeds to get more onions. So let's rotate it. So we're going to fill our cultivated farm with onions. So all of that planted with 1 click. And there's a little bit to do down here. I think I want to do carrots though, which I don't show the boss that. I guess it's in range. We kept falling through this hole, so I decided to make use of it. Put a door so we could easily get out. But, you know, I keep trying to put the 1 beam on the side there, and then the puppies and the mobs are able to get up there. We keep finding creatures up here. And then the puppies run up here to do their job and protect us from the creatures. Alright, so carrots. Seeds to grow carrots, because the hogs need some. So anyway, I decided to help by, now we can't fall in there. We might be able to fall in here. Let's see. Nope. But the creatures cannot navigate that, and it's another place for more seeds because we're into the area where we do need more. Guess I'll put this in this box. Yeah. Alright, so what do we got? So when that pops, this whole thing will be, I don't know, another 4 stacks of onions. I've put, I don't know how many stacks of onions in here, or in my place. I put 2. Let's see what we got. Plenty of carrots. 2, 4, 6, 8 is 400 so far. Plus, so overnight we went from, let's say, 6 carrots to 600, and there's some in there for everyone. I've got a few for myself. We have migrated, some left here, and seeds enough to plant. We could plant 4 times probably and not have to do the seed thing, you know. So we're in the onions business, you know. Anyway, that is the Plant Easily mod. Let me know in the comments what you think of my answer to the build a fishing hut challenge. Obviously, I'm going to fix that chandelier. Don't worry. So, things we need to do. We need to fill up this gap, and I'm going to show you what we're doing on the far gap. And that's just the last details of the exterior. And I might have done that during my short stream the other day, but I was until I was getting a bit tired. And I'm trying out the wolf jewelry thing there. I don't know. So that how do you vent? You know, the kitchen's going to be in this end. We're building a kitchen in one end, and the armory is what we're going to call it in the far end. So how do you vent the smoke out of your kitchen? Your giant barracks. Oh, somebody left the door open. Wonder who that was. Me. So we're going for a 5 square. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 4.5. I might go that little bit further. I'm trying to sort out. This is extremely tricky. I'm going to sort out how to get this wall of chests done. But remember the storage wall? It was half higher. Now it's directly at the seam of 2 walls high. That's 8 meters. I'm sorry, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 meters high. 8 meter high ceiling. So this is right at 4 meters up, and okay, we now have a loft. We can do the storage thing up here. We can do some of the kitchen upgrades for the forge. I mean, for the for all the kitchen stuff, we can do it up here. Only thing I did, I spent too much amount of time trying to get the size sorted out for this. I think I need to make a forge back here. No, it's not a forge. It's let's get started. Miscellany, yeah. It's the stone cutter allows us to do this. So we're putting that in, and I'm trying to leave that space just right for a future oven. We're not to the oven yet. I think that's planes. Make sure it's not showing outside. Yeah. All right. So that was one of the things. The other, I have that right there with my hoe. I can go around and do the cobblestone, right? 5. Now I can do cobblestone. Stone path. So I'm intending to do this only, truly only, if I can get under there, in the walk under, not outside that. So I'm going to have to go carefully inside and out to correct the edging of this. If there's a way to do where you adjust the circle, you know, let me know. Yeah, things I thought would do it are not it. So I think we're out of the zone. Yeah, we're too far away. We'll have to move the stone cutter up here. See how far we can go this way. So this is a more authentic way to do what legit Vikings would do with their house floors. Barracks floor that I'm going for here. How is it I'm able to get it? Oh, its zone is saying all the way to here. But now that I'm out of it, I can't do it up here, right? So the only, as far as I know, stone items I wanted to do were the floor and this yeah, this fireplace down here. So I'm going to move that out. Break it. Like I say, I like to use this for more precise targeting. Not sure I gathered all the materials. I think I did. Find out when I try to place it. So I keep finding the puppies all the way up there, so I've done it a couple of times myself. The putting the leaving the door open. This is the words I'm going for. Alright, that's a crafting stone, yeah. I did it. Alright. So authentic would be outside is the stone, and inside was compacted earth. So compacted earth, we're going to go with the pathin function. You know, I think it'd be okay, especially on the door areas, to be having this overlap outside. I'm going to do pathin inside anyway, but out here I can clean this up pretty easily. Switch to pathin. Now I want to make sure my edge is right around those beams. So something like cobblestone, just maybe, and maybe larger than this, but stones that are nested together and tamped into the earth and anchored and whatnot correctly to make your paths or your floors, because they figure, hey, if this house has got to survive, we can't have the foundation of it coming up. And you need to put a thing there. Just that. So I'm gonna take this away just so I can replace it with exactly what I want, which is we're gonna roam out farther. So this is some more ASMR stuff for those of you who are into that. I dropped earlier today my Medieval Dynasty playthrough, 3 videos. I have 8 shot, and I do believe I have, and that covers my introduction to the thing, and then I realize I'm doing pathin. If I want to change it, I'll come back. To put grass or something, I'll probably do that. Anyway, one brain cell at a time, apparently. Sorry about that. Cultivator, I can fix that. But I put the cultivator away, right? So, alright. So I don't know what my range will be up here. Yeah. So the idea is, coming off of the base over there, this is going to look a little bit fortified, maybe. At sea, we can come to here and around. Yeah, I'm just going to end up doing all this. I think I want to put one more because there's supposed to be a beam right there, right? One more pillar that I didn't put in. I wanted to show you all that. Alright, so we're going for the look of a curved road, a little bit more curved to it. Standing back only because I'm inside the stonecutter's perimeter, as you see the dotted line. And that is as far as I can go. And I'll move that thing again. But we're probably going to sleep. I don't know if we're going to sleep. Try. Alright, so we've got, I think, what we can do here. Let's put in those beams. We got plenty of stuff we can do, whether the clan sleeps or not. Giuseppe is the only one in right now. And I think I said already, I'm in a different voice channel, so if people server mates want to come in and do whatever they do. Yeah, it looks different than the others because, you know, it's actually attached to that beam. That floor ceiling tile is floated above all the rest. This one is actually touching for a solid anchor. So it looks a little different. Probably could float a ceiling tile underneath there and then snap that corner to that. That would be a future detail. I'm not terribly worried about today. We got a lot to do. I want to get going on my time here. Get off. Alright, so we got all four corners. So this is what it was supposed to look like. So like I said last time, I realized I had it up too high. I was trying that. What did it look like? I couldn't tell until I finished one whole side. And then I realized, oh, should have looked at the whole side before I went all the way around. Because we lowered it 1 meter, and that is much closer to how the Trellborg ring barracks looks. Something that is different, I recognize, is I said in the video, I like doing the corners, I like doing the ends of a roof floating off. That is not authentic to Trellborg style. There is a particular thing they do there that I want to do, and well, it is timber frame, that is right. That thing is to use these guys in a particular way. Interweave that back and forth, so you're snapping these to each other, and you end up with that angular face board there. And the downside is that ends up out, so I need to figure out how to do that where it's under the roof, not above the roof. So still things to try and learn. I think I'll snap it underneath that main beam. So we're in different voice channels, but we can still text because we're on the server together. Let me see, was there something else I wanted to cover? Yeah, I think the other thing was to go to the tree farm and show you how to do that. And I might have done this, I don't know, but and boss altar, where does all this wood come from? Because I had almost 5,000, depending on which end of the house I was on, you know, with that build mod. Let me check it out. What's it called? We have Azu Auto Store, where you throw stuff on the ground, and as long as there's one piece of wood in a chest, it'll suck in all the wood you throw in the chest on the ground into the chest within a range. Crafty Boxes is where you have your workbench within range of the chests, and it does have to be in the chest, and or on your on your person, but that's not the point. From the chest, it will build using whatever. So you go into the crafting bench and it shows up saying you've got 4,500 wood and 2,200 core wood is what I was saying. So this is that plant easily. You'll end up planting a row. I had several because we need a lot of fine wood. I planted this and this. This had been put down previously. Had some pine seeds. Pines are diminishing return. The others are growing. Like if I started with 3, I think, oak tree seeds, and I planted them, and I got 4, 5, and I planted them, and I had 12. I started with 3, so that's a growing number. Beech trees, it's super easy. We've got 300-400 around that. We're not even trying to plant too many of those because, it's less return on your investment of axing. Of course, these take a lot of axe work to get through one of the oaks, but for the same amount of work, you can get let me go back, show you this again. This is the any portal mod. So I'm clicking on one by me. While I was flying, I typed in the chat box. And it's more because, it's better to see what I'm doing for you guys if I'm doing that work in the daytime. So I wasn't going to do anything up there. I just wanted to show off what the tree farm looked like. It was different yesterday or last time on the stream, pretty obviously, right? So here's what we do. You go into one of your crafting benches. This one's the cauldron, and everything I can possibly craft shows up. For example, onion soup. So I guess I brought 3 stacks over here, and there's 6, 7, 8 over there for everyone else. So I don't need them for a minute. I'm good. I fill up the chest in that with 2-3 lines when I harvest what I just planted. I have made plenty of ice cream. I mean, heck, yesterday we shot down a dozen drakes, and I made stuff with the freeze glands, including whatever potion it is. And then onion soup, we can make wolf skewers with the onions. So mushrooms right now, because we have wolf kind of on farm. Every time there's a raid of some kind, something kills a couple of wolves. If they don't kill enough deer and eat the meat, they're low and then lower, and then a raid or something stronger comes through and hits them. They do occasionally die. So just before the stream, I'm not going to show the big harvesting off on the screen. I had 4, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then babes we got 1, 2. Yeah, just counted. 2 piglets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adults. Yeah, that's a piglet. That's a piglet. So we'll have 8 out of the 4, and this is just one day later, so doing good. This is Tank. He just went through, missed him. Again, another thing we do, we have this lovely pond. Now, you see those fish moving? These are fish that, sometimes they'll wash up on the beach somewhere where the storm has some nice waves and the storm will recede and it'll leave these guys stranded. And you pick them up and you can put them in water, but they really don't come back to life. You notice they're rotating, to face me or face away, however I threw them out there. But they're not truly alive. They're sort of zombie fish. There's 2 perch down in there somewhere. I have to hit the center island. Yeah, they're there. Scroll in. These are perch. There's another one somewhere. Probably one of the dogs walking by just pushed it up on the ground or pushed it around. Yeah, there he is, under the lily. So that's a 1 and a 2 in the perch. The pike over here, this is a number 1 pike size, number 2, and then the one on my fishing bench is number 3 size. And I know there's a 4, and I don't know if there's a 5 in that. Anyway, so we're gonna figure this out. We were about 2 things today: finishing the ends and the interior. And I'm just gonna say right now, we're probably gonna need yet another day for this because I'm having fun. So let's see. That is the right. Oh, it's 45. Look. Where I want it to show is maybe I need to step to the top of that wall. See how that looks. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So, snap off of that. Snapping to top. Yep. Trick is up there. Alright, so we're going to come down. It did work, but it was an unusual way to get it to go. It was like in line with the one I was using from below, but then slid up to the roof, which was not the same entirely. Alright. Yeah, it's acceptable. It's acceptable. I'll tell you, yes, Mr. OCD, little part of me, I'm probably going to go, and you know there's 3 here, 3 tiles, right? And the top one is shoved up where it doesn't have to. I'm probably going to redo this entire roof just to match that line exactly on that beam. But that's, you know, let alone others. Some of my people here on the server are known OCD people. I got a little bit of that, not purely. I've had people that were legit OCD that I was not matching their style, you know. But a little bit of that. This is more like, you know, like I left it the other day and then fixed it off screen, you know. This is more trying to get this done for you guys, you know. So this is what I'm going for here. Snap off of that. Yep. So if you look at the Trellborg Ring Barracks, the rebuild they did, there is... Oh, there we go. Sort of this wall, I don't know what you call it, I'm not a contractor, what I really call that. It's not a wall, it's a finishing board along the sides. Under the eaves. Whatever you guys call that, good for you, I don't know. Not sure this will work, but we might end up having to do the... Not sure that would work either. Well, let's put it in and see how it looks underneath, you know? Yeah, see, I don't like that sticking out there. So we're gonna go with the shorty. Gray. It's still there. And you can see that, okay. And again, this is not, you know, Valheim is not a builder game designed by Viking historians to enable them to create extremely accurate historical builds, we're doing the best we can. There are mods that I'm going to use on the Sven Zone playthrough that will help a lot, but you know what I was just saying, I think I want a little bit of an indented, you know, a little space in here. And these beams would even come out. So I'm saying like a 1 meter wide pocket is kind of what I'm talking about. Drop it here. And I don't know that I'm building on that exactly, but I'm needing something to work with, right? There was a stairway here, which is no longer here. I'm not using any build mod where I can easily go up. And scaffolding, I guess, is kind of the word I was talking about. You know, if I continue that 27, or if I turn it into 45, that might be an interesting way to do this. No, that wouldn't look right based on the historical buildings. I'm feeling like up there at that level. Where did I put it? Oh, I guess right there. Would be, I don't know what the opposite of a facade, any version of a facade. As you're in the construction trades, can you tell me what that's supposed to be? In the comments, chat, this is live. If you're here watching live, you can tell me. Got a few people watching, thank you. I've got a notepad over my chat. It's Seth. It tells me there's 4 people in there. I'm seeing 9 watching now, so thank you all very much. You can join Seth in the chat. It's real easy. I had for a bit there, I had must subscribe in order to chat. I think I turned that off. So I don't know if that's true or not, but if you want to subscribe just long enough to tell me yes or no. I've got 25 subscribers it's showing, that's what I started with. So I don't know who y'all are, but thanks for being here. Alright, that is what I'm talking about. I'm going to go up top and work with that. Easier from up there. And yes, video number 4 is planned. Things like this are why I'm going to cut these beams out. And, you know, this is a new, hey, you got to build something that you hadn't thought of before, you know? This is kind of what happens, you know? You're in that crackling, that's my leg is caught in the notch. And that... I think I know the easiest way to deal with that would be to snap one of these guys on the inside. Yep. So there'll be a little something on the inside though. So we'll have a look and see how that looks, because if it's ridiculous, we'll have to fix it. But again, this is our best adaptation of the historical build that we can do with Valheim's mechanics. This is widely known as, regardless by Valheim fans anyway, as one of the better building games for people who are into building games, which obviously I am. That was a misclick. I don't know where that guy went. Let's riff off of this corner. What is edge 2? That is the one. Alright, I think we got him. All right, so that looks right. That looks right. Little side walls here. Pocket this in. And I am totally fine with leaving a little gap here. Wait till you see the far end. This would be an air escape hole. That's not how they would do it in the far north in Scandinavia. They would not do that. But from what I'm seeing on the video with the Trellborg Barracks, you're seeing a high angle that's like this. And there is that little bit, see that side of that wood there? That's big compared to what you're seeing in the video. It's big, it's twice as wide. You know, it's more of a board, like a foot wide board. That's 2 feet wide or more. But this is what we have in Valheim. We don't have 1 foot wide triangular corner pieces like that. You see what I'm saying? So this is my adaptation as best I can. Now that corner hanging down like that, I'm likely, I'm going to need to try the 27-degree version of that and see if it's hiding better. So, yeah, this way. Target the right board. Yeah, see, it's either it's going to show above or it's going to show below. We're not doing the 45, roof down here, because that would be down into almost my headspace. So. I didn't like having that tail of the wood showing down here. It doesn't look right though, does it? Doesn't look right in other ways. So I was talking about Rusty, that mod that he made. You should see, he was doing a server he created to do a Valheim builder contest, and he has built his headquarters. He's not in the contest, he's the judge of it. He's inviting people to come and do the thing. But his headquarters that he built for it are absolutely stunning. You see some build videos sometimes for people doing Valheim builds, and they're like, wow, so Rusty's that guy too. He is an amazing builder. So we're finally done, enough done over there. So gonna do what I like to do with fires is I will put as close as I can there, and I need to pull this forward for a little bit for a reason, and then as close as I can there, it's tucked into the wood just a little, and then I do this one, a third one in the middle, and you see how those stones are overlapping? That means I'm pretty much perfect. I think it's left, right is a little off, but in the box next to me, I pre-tested this. I needed some more of the stuff, so all the stuff I'm using is right here in the box. All right, so let's think it through. The cauldron has upgrades. I'm going to put some of them above us and some of them on the other side of the wall, perhaps. So I'm going to put the cauldron on this fire, and you see I'm nesting it right in the corner there. The kittle, which is where you make meads, I'm going to go this direction. Left, right, it's either way. I love Emma Potato has a great video where she beats the thing up, she puts it in place, and then whacks at it until it has a dent. And she'll put it this way, but it comes out with a dent which looks like it has a pour spout. It's like, that's freaking genius. Brilliant, darling. You are brilliant. So Emma Potato is one of the many Valheim streamers that I have watched. I'm gonna pull that just a little. 2, those are technically over that fire. And then these. Now, it's not perfect, but you can get 5 of these over 1 fire. The trick is when you're doing the cook anything, and you can just hit E, just hold it down, and then it starts sizzling and it's finished, and you hit E, and it picks it off and puts the next thing on there. You may not want to cook everything, because for some recipes you need cooked, what is this, neck meat, is it? Lost track of what it was. For some recipes you need cooked, and some you need raw. So you may not want to just auto-cook your everything. You may want to target that one right there and go, pluck the one wolf meat off. Sorry, wolfies. That must have pulled out of some box somewhere. You want to pluck the one off, carefully hit E, and then it'll go into a box if you have one already, or it'll go into your inventory, and then move EE very carefully, because you want to not leave all these hanging with stuff. And I need to get the iron, and I'll put the rack, the cooking rack for the giant hooks. But this is why I put the fires in, so I could show you this. How do we get rid of the smoke? Valheim has extremely good smoke mechanics, really good. And so you need a pocket that'll capture it all, and it gets to, I think, 5 squares volume from one fire. 5 squares. I don't know the number from that thing over there, but let's say it's 5 times as much. I don't know. Volume of space to, which is why some of those houses have the smoke channel in the roof. It'll fill the whole roof all the way down, right? But then it'll barely come out the ends, because that's enough volume to capture all that smoke. So this is going to be my kitchen, and this is my wall. We're right at 4.5 meters here. I don't know if I'm going with that, but this is going to be my kitchen, and it might have enough volume, but what would they really do? And again, this is my interpretation using Valheim best I can. It does show in some of their builds where they have like a stern of a ship looking thing, and my stern of the ship is this. I pre-built this, yes I did, so that I could show you guys. And let's get up there. Easier if we use the right thing. Yes, sound effects are sometimes required. I can make that jump, come on. Jump 46. It was over 50 the other day, but I had a few deaths yesterday. So, yeah. This is 26-degree roofs, and the top of the wall is there, 3 meters, and I just snapped the 26-degree roof right to that corner. And this is oh, finally. Yesterday I couldn't get it to break. It was bugging. So remember, I had to move those beams down. That one just would not. So anyway, if I take this off, because this is what I like to do, it's not necessarily correct though. If I take that off, and then I put the 45-degree end on this, like I did on the other end of the building, that sideboard, it'll fill it just right. There's a mod where you can open doors even if you're in your build, or hoe, or pick, or whatever item targets, and it's not a weapon or something where you have a free hand. You can still hit E, and we're not using that mod. It's fine. Does anybody remember the reference? Again. That's from a TV show. It was live action. I think it was live action, but it was kind of a funny TV show where the young creature rode on the daddy's shoulders and would say again whenever he did something funny, like jump up in the air. Baby's on a pigback ride around Daddy's neck, and he would bonk Daddy with his baby bottle or something like that. Anybody remember the show? Yes, dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, Seth. That's the one. Yep, good job, buddy. So dinosaurs, and Earl was the daddy. He was a tree pusher, which is what dinosaur lumberjack would do, is push the trees over. It's brilliant. I love that show. It was hilarious. But anyway, the baby would bonk him on the head with his baby bottle and say again. Are we sleeping, Seth? Yeah, the golems were ridiculous yesterday. I see what you wrote earlier. They were... You don't have 20. Don't have 20 what? Alright, thanks. Thanks, bro. So one of the things I like to do is set up my food shelf. So these are my... We're going somewhere hard, and if I have to eat a beakberry and get rid of it, this is 55 with 2 ticks, turnip stew, 65 stam, 21 health with 1 tick, and wolf skewer 65 with 21 with 3 ticks. Now that did give me a little yesterday versus going with going with the 1 hit point per tick versus going with the 2 from the carrot soup. And I know it's less, but over time the dot of the ticks regenerating faster, I could tell a big difference. We were in the mountains fighting all those things, and we were going back up. This is my eat food to go, to go somewhere in chest. So I'm carrying so many, I'll only carry 3 or 4, and then I want to refresh my food. I want to still carry 3 or 4, so I'll just go click, 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 across that top line there. And when we were going up there, it was click, click, click over here. And so the common denominator, that's still the middle. Turn to soup was still the middle best. Anyway, because we're trying to hurry and do corpse run and find our stuff, and don't want the golems to recharge. They seem to recharge way too fast. Anyway, that's how I did the food box. And so there's a lower health but more stam versions for, I'm working. I need stam. I don't want to fall off. See how many, 11 and a half out of 113, no big deal. But I don't want to fall and die, but I need lots of stam. Made it. Oh, yes. Anyway. Versus, some people are more combat focused. Rusty is definitely that guy. He is really, really good at this game. If anybody I know could do a speed run as people do, it's him. And I think that's the out of the... Gotta take these off. That's outside the roof. I didn't want that snap. Thank you to whoever of my buddies that put the thing on the roof. That was very cute. That roof tile that was flying up in the air was one of them. So what we did was we started at the bottom, found that right snap, and use that as to, you know, the snaps. Whoa, bro. The snaps seem to reference sometimes. That was being held up by the ladder. Cute. Yeah, I guess so. The snaps seem to reference sometimes, is what I want to say. So, the right word for it, but there we go. Fixed it. Now it's green. All right, let's get this filled in so we have no more falls. Just gotta be careful backing up that one. Alright, so we had this one, and it wasn't, you know, it was snapping down off of that, so it wasn't exactly aligned, but it was referencing this snap that I had that. Maybe I can do that up there. If I can just pull it down. There you go. Okay, that's what it was doing. Right. Often have to get an in look at the things to get them to look right, to snap right. That snap doesn't work for the next one. Is it right? It is right. All right, and again, I will adjust the roof that little bit. That's an awful lot of work I'm not going to do today with you guys' time. Respect your time as well. Thank you for being here. Snap. I know, it's not audio cue. So. Sometimes sound effects are required. Alright, so that is the equivalent of what we did on the other end. Now this one, we're not going to put the wall, remember I filled the wall up all in there? We're leaving that smoke pocket. We've just filled it in a lot, of course, but you know, the smoke is dying in that pocket up there. So it's doing our job for us. Where's that mean? Alright. So finally we can get to the interior. I mean, we started a little as a reference, but to show you the smoke pocket roof concept. The door. Need lighting. This is one of the things on my Sven's playthrough. I like the jewelry crafting because you can put down a torch and it's a light and it's a crystal light, and it's much easier on your computer. It doesn't have to process the fire and the smoke, and you know, for a burning torch is 3 times or more the stuff to do for your computer. And I'm thinking maybe we're not going to do... Well, let's just start off with not doing the overhead storage directly over the middle. That'll look a little nicer. And you know, I probably wouldn't put anything storage over in those sides either. So let's take these guys out. I can barely see that one. It's so smoky. Alright, so we're gonna Support that dude with from below. This. Come on. Real hard not to jump in the fire. Not again. That'll look nice, right? So, yeah. We talked about putting storage. Remember we had the scaffolding at the far end of the building that I said, hey, you know what? I think I'll leave that in as a storage. Because it would make a lot of sense to just kind of reach up, put stuff in a box right over the head. And I'm basically just touching these, and they may be a little zigzaggy. Yeah, that's organic. Because as you use your storage chests overhead, you bump them a little, you move it, climb up a ladder. Brother gives you puts two hands together to give you a stirrup boost. You bump the darn things, and they're a little zigzag. So this is organic. So I'm not worried about making it magically perfect. The ones down below are bugging me though. So, but you see how much wood we have here? I took several chests of wood to the smelter foundry area, to the kilns. We jump, and this is what remains, and this is just in this end of the building. We're in the zone of 1,700. Right here, it's 1,000, just under 1,000. I don't know if I'm gonna make that one. Yeah. That's a little too janky for realism. All right, so we're having the kitchen. And this will be our kitchen door. But the thing I'm going for is the wall between the kitchen and the barracks is going to be a wall of chests. So the kitchen will have a side door here. There's going to be a door, I think it's already here, yeah. And I think I better get this before the puppies come inside. You know, for coming into the barracks, proper doors for coming in. We're gonna have mostly cots. We're gonna put the beds down. Just a quick demo. Okay, you know what a cot bed is. I don't know for sure if I want to do that, but that would fit barracks perfectly. It'd allow me to give each guy his own little chest there. Problem is, down the middle of the room, on one end I'm going to put one of those stone hearths. And on the other, I'm going to put 3 campfires, you know, and that's really the natural way they mostly did it. So each warrior would have their own chest for storing their personal gear. Let's say, like here. If this was wider, the build would be so much bigger and higher. We couldn't really do it yet. I mean, we could with the iron beams, but I wanted to do a more authentic look, and that is the Trellborg Barracks is this big. But if it was wider, we could have the beds coming out from the wall, and we could have a locker at the foot of it, and a little path. And then the fires, you know, for Valheim, we have to have the fires, you know. They didn't necessarily do that. You have to have the fires within range. You know, they would have the kitchen at one end of the building for cooking everyone's food, and then vent the smoke, you know, kind of the way I just did. So the fireplace would be down there. They wouldn't necessarily have a fire down the middle of the room, but if we're realistically thinking of sleeping Valheim warriors, we need to have you know, fires down the middle of the room for that. But the trouble now is, down the middle of the room is also our walk path. So I'm thinking we're gonna move that off one side or the other. And this is the part, you know, I see what I see what the historian did. I don't know how to pronounce his name really. I'm sorry. Skagin is Skyen. I don't know exactly. I'm sorry, murdering it. But if that's where the kitchen door is, maybe we'll leave that. But so our path is along this line. And that's 4.5 meters. So let me sync it up. Or, I'm sorry, 4.5. 9.5 meters. 4.5 2-meter bars. 1, 2, 3. Boy, that is 3. 4 plus 1 meter. So this is 9 meters. And this is 10. This would make 8.5. If I do the same thing on the far end, then that becomes 8.5 squares. 9 squares would be 18 meters for the barracks. And I'm thinking that's a little ridiculous. So these are each 2 meters each. No, we're going for the look of the barracks, so I'm going for a gigantic looking barracks, yeah. Alright. Well, and another thing I can do, I can put the chest and I can put a rack for their armor. You know what? Just realized, right? If I'm moving the center over, maybe I can do this. Live rework. Let's imagine we do this. I think it's a little much to ask for that, but next to him on one side can be this, and the other side can be this. Let's reverse that for this first one. So this is this warrior's personal space, and then the next guy is here. Historically, it was mostly guys, except for there were some shield maidens. I'm not saying there weren't. I need to make more iron nails, but you know, one of those there. So this would be the personal space of this warrior. We're talking about connecting the walkway here. I don't know that there's room for fire. Yeah, kind of doesn't make sense. There's not room for fireplaces in the center of the room. But, again, we're going for a more authentic build. Yeah, this is also my personal house inside the server. It's not like I'm building this as a demo and I'm not living in it. I'm living it. So I need to make it livable for me. You know, it's not like I can do a firebox. Maybe I can. That actually would work, wouldn't it? And these guys would be... You know, I'm not gonna leave this here. This would be... Everyone would walk this way. You know what? That totally works. Improvise, adapt, and overcome. There you go. Now, knowing me, I'm going to walk in that thing all the time, so I'm probably going to put the little side walls. And this would be how they would historically do it. Would be a box like this. Put it with the little bracing board out because they don't, you won't want that in, right? Gotcha. All right. So, this guy would, we'll remove these little beams here, of course. This guy would be able to get access to his stuff this way. This guy would get access to his stuff this way. So then we got to sort these guys out where they have their kit hanging up, and maybe the 2 chests or something at the foot. We'll work it out. Maybe they get the overhead chest, you know. That is a little high for that, actually, isn't it? Well, maybe we'll rework that even lower. Because right now, let's see. Yeah, that seems a little ridiculous to assume a guy is able to stand there and reach up and grab that. So we need to move that down 1. Working on our build as we go live, guys. This is great. Sorting these things out. Making it work. Because, Skadgen, I'm so sorry I'm mangling his name all the time, whatever it is, is a historian. I am a Valheim player. I need to make this work for me. To live in. This is my in-game house. And, you know, the phrase, go big or go home, right? Well, I'm going big on my go home. Yeah, doesn't work. Seth, calling you out, people. There's 10, 11 watching, 2 likes. Sethy's gonna challenge you to a fight. You know what to say about Valheim Fight Club? Nobody talks about Valheim Fight Club. Alright, so we're still using our idea. We're just a whole meter down before it was up at this level. Or we had that scaffolding was at this level across the house. Now we're going to put it here because, whoop, don't fall in. Because that, you know, that's a little more realistic. So we'll need to have the armor stands between, like this guy, if this is literally my wall, we need 1 armor stand there, and then 1 there, and that guy's stuff is up above. Over here, these guys are a little more senior, they got a little more elbow room and space, they're not really foot to foot with somebody else, kicking each other's feet in the night. Have a little more elbow room, and then one of these guys we're going to make is going to be my dragon bed. Actually, I'm probably going to wait, I'm going to sleep on one of these all the way until, maybe I'll hang a dragon bed up in a loft so I get the buff, you know. But I don't care. When we finally unlock that, the Ashlands nice bed is about the size of these. That'll be my captain's bed, I guess we'll say, captain of my squad leader, you know. I'm a good follower, I'm one of Rusty's followers, I'm on his crew. And so, just kind of adapting to the reality of the game. So, what do we got to do? Let's get this thing out of here finally. It has become obvious that it is completely in the way. So we're going to stick with this. I pre-measured this off. That's 4, so 8 meters, and this is on 9 is where this sidewall is. And we're kind of split in the middle where it's 8.5. That's where we made this door. And if we're going to go with that, we're going to go with that for now. And I'm going to make this wall of chests thing going on and fix it later. Yeah, let's do that. So the hard part is going to be the lining up of all of these. And I need to start moving my... I think what I'm going to finish with is continue and decorate this kitchen for the barracks. So imagine you have a camp cook. Come on. I'm going to leave that one there. I don't know for sure the size of the oven, but I think what I measured, I think it's exactly that size. But we'll see later when we're able to make that. Maybe I'll have a refresh video on that. It's no big deal. Alright, how we doing? Buff's almost over. Food buff, that is. Thinking maybe I'll move the... Let's just imagine. This will be a wall of chests. Will it? This over here is definitely going to be a wall of chests. We've got the ones overhead, the ones overhead. We're going to bring that down 1 meter so it matches those guys over here. Those are not things I necessarily need to get done right here and right now. Start with the floor. What was it? Pathin? I don't want to take away the stone outside if it sort of intrudes a little inside, you know, like it's the foundation. I'm fine with that. So let's make sure we're all pathed here. Because compacted earth was a legit foundation for the inside of their houses. See all these lovely Valheim builds with these extremely fine marble from Ashlands and whatever these things are called, Grouston. Yeah. Beautiful. Not authentic at all. This is a magical realm run by Odin, and here things are different than back on Midgard. Back on Midgard, compacted earth floors in your house were the way. I don't know for sure about the kitchen. I'll have to do some looking and whatever. So maybe we'll tear everything up and put in a wood floor, but I would be surprised by it, you know? So. Guess I'll see if Seth is sleeping. Get out of bed, give it a touch, and see what happens. So, I suppose our goal for the rest is... Without that light, man, it looks like the same thing. Is to get the kitchen, all this stuff, moved in down there. I'm going to need to get some iron for the grate. I see, he's sleeping. We can make the bed now. We can make that yeah, the dragon bed we can make now. I'm wanting to wait for the smaller one, the Ashland's bed. I'll have a look. You know, the one that's nicer looking, but the same size as these straw cots. Let's have a look. Furniture. Dragon bed. You know, there's that one more, and it's kind of white and reddish brown colors of the hides and stuff on it. That's the one I'm talking about. So we're going to do fine wood table. We can do, let's have a look. Crafting. We can do the iron cooking station. I just need to go grab some iron. Cauldron. Need 10. If I break these things that are in front of me, I can just take them down there. Spice rack I've got overhead. Butcher's table I got next to me. The food prep table. I need 5 iron for that, and 3 for the um, cooking station. And apparently I don't have that down here. I've got 2. So I haven't done as much of the swamps as other people have, but I've done the heck out of some mountains. Seth and I yesterday did, I think, 5 silver nodes. Yesterday alone, let alone the ones we did before. And brought the stuff back. And got a few of those. I've upgraded my stuff just so I can survive that. Let's see. Let's just go with 10 and I'll bring back what I don't need later. And that's not, those aren't full stacks. That's just spread out so that as we make more, it fills in there. Let's have a look at what we planted up here. I don't know if it's been enough business days to have fully grown crops. It has. So, you saw what we planted a bit ago when we first started the stream is now these massive crops, and I'm pretty sure the weight is fine. So our Viking village is fully hardcore, that's the word, into the age of the onions. Is wolf skewers and onion soup are best in category at this level, and here we got them. So many. That was I saw the beehive got popped too. Little ASMR stuff for those of you who are into that. I am sometimes. And yes, this is all going in the common house cook diner, I guess. The hall right there in my view, because I've got enough to last me for might as well get these out here. Consequences of the mod, depending on which angle you're going, there's some extras. I'm just gonna leave those because it's kind of cute. When you do the plant mode, it overdoes it like that. It's kind of cool. All right, so the thing to do, I guess, is to use up a bunch of these seeds. And there we go. 7. Here. I wonder if it's better this way. I'm seeing a lot of red that way. Oh. Plant carrots to get carrot seeds. I don't want carrots, I want onions. Plant an onion to get more seeds. I want seeds to get more onions. So let's see. Look at that. You do this mod almost every time you plant, your farming will level up because it's so much. Seth? You know, there's video evidence now. She's gonna get you. Place stacks. So, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and a half stacks. So 12 would be 600. 675. So we can make plenty of wolf skewers. Yeah, we can make that for days. And onion soup. You know, divide by 3, what is that? 200 and plus, you know? So we're totally good. Totally good. So, and I just planted more. Alright, so let's put this food. And cultivator back. Prepare all my stuff. Whoops. That's why I built this little secret room. And alright, so we should be able to put the rack. Let's go the other way this time. This is a beautiful game. Look at this stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is our... Now, you personally might choose to put the 45 degree on there. I think I'm going to try that, so we're going to have a video for it at some point. We're, you know, we're an hour and a half into this one, so we're not bad yet. Let's just imagine I will have a video 4 where I've got some of these things I'm not finishing today. I'll finish and show you off. Look at those fish. Put a fishing dock. Ooh, there's a lot of fish here. That's a stick, of course. Yeah. 3-4 fish there. You know, the idea is the things I said I'll finish, you know, off screen. I'll finish, and then we can show you what those turned out as later. So it takes as much time as I spent 2 hours on here. I probably spent 4 hours getting ready with, well, I don't know. I gathered 10,000, 20,000 wood in the last week and a half. I'm going to go with 20,000, legit, because most of them have been burned into charcoal, which we've done iron and silver for days. To the point that there's no more. Iron chest completely full of charcoal, gone, because we've used it to smelt everything. So now I'm going to tell you, I might have to take a little break. I don't have the special things some people do where you can go AFK and there's a handy, I don't know what it is, little special video or notice that plays. Oh, chain. Yeah, I do have that. Where some people have, where the you know, I almost a commercial. I don't have commercials. I'm not paid. Long ways from paid. If that ever happens, God bless it. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to have fun with myself. Showing you guys some things. The farm I live on, not the owner of, but I'm here, has farm dogs. The biggest of them is a full Great Dane. He is gigantic. His name is Max, and that fits because he is maximum size. He's huge. I'm going to pull this forward a little. It's not centered, but I would think the people who... Yeah, let's put it like that. That is just a little... Maybe it's not even for it. I would think the people would put it in arm's reach. There's no way to get on the other side, so they might pull it forward towards me a little. So that's cool. We got that. And what was the other thing? The upgrades. So I think at this time I need to move down here. Fine wood, leather scraps, ancient bark. Silver is in range. Do I have silver on me? No, silver is in range though. That's cool. Thistle, turnips are in range. Thistle, I need to get thistle. Tin. Well, when I break the cauldron down in there, I should get all, when I break all those things down, I should get everything. What I need is more Iron I have on me. Fine wood, leather scraps. Alright. So let's see what I can put in here. No, this is not where these are going to reside. We're just clearing the inventory real quick. Fine wood and leather scraps. Do have quite a lot of those. And, you know, on the one hand, yes, I'm a bit of a hoarder, back rat. You know, all of us are used to playing alone in our Valheim runs, and therefore saving everything you need for your own needs. Well, interesting. There we go. And you know, we're in a group. We're not having a community home. That's what Rusty said this time. We're all going to build our own homes or bases. Well, to go afar and build a base would cause more lag than being all here in one place, he said. And it's partly because if I had to go and build absolutely everything for myself, like, you know, especially the smelters and kilns, and, you know, things like that I don't have in this. If I had to build absolutely everything. And every other one of us did also build everything. That more number of instances because we have to build it all. I swear I had some leather scraps. Silver and tin, right? Silver. Well, need to go get some leather scraps out of the community shed. Anyway, every one of us having to build our whole complete base with everything because we need our own would cause more lag, loading chunks all over the map, plus everyone's everything. Would cause more lag than having a shared base. That's not enough. So, on the other hand, here we are building all in one area. Oh, I already have that. I think. Oh, leather straps. There we go. That's right off. So I need tin. I don't think I needed the silver. I think I'm going to bring that back later, but it was iron and tin, was it? Oh boy, we might have to go tin mining. That's not tin, that's silver. Well, I do know where some is, kinda. Take it all for everyone. I think I need... I've lost track. There were things I looked at in the build menu, and it's like, if I still stole, either they stole from me or I stole from them. Haha. Who's hungry? Hey, sunflower. Witchy's daughter was watching and named all of these. Mom Witchy ran around and pointed at this one and pointed at that one. The young lady brought out all of the names. And I do remember what I'm working on, but we have 2 wolves here. Oh, we have 3. They've had a puppy. We need to name 2 wolves. I've got Teufel and Hunden. And they are the parents of all of these, and I've taken away a handful, you know, so these guys keep breeding, which is part of their job. But these two, you guys can propose some names in chat or in the comments to the video. Please do. So, I did sort of lose track. What did I need? I know it's some metals. This is how miscellany boxes get started, right? I need some fine wood and this was it. Leather scraps and fine wood are now possible. So that's a big table. Let's put that in place. It's a cauldron upgrade, so let's put it over here. Is this the direction or that? I would think the person would put, let's do this, would put the thing down so their hands could grab the handle part, which is hard to tell, isn't it? Brother. So I'm going to go that way, like this is the side facing us because of that spoon on the bottom shelf, that's easier to tell. So we need it a little out of the way so we can get into our cauldron. Now, there's going to be some of these might go outside. That'd be a little unusual. Butcher's table, I've got one in the other room. I want to put that right here too. Maybe I'll pull that out, like right out here. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Spice rack needs to hang essentially right over. And right now, those are the 3 upgrades that I'm aware of. I don't know if there's more that I just haven't unlocked, probably. But, the spice rack, we can hang right there. So let's go. I need more iron. Oh, I just used it. What am I talking about? I need, oh, silver, that's what I need it for. I need ancient bark, but I might be able to just break down the one that's in the other room. And if I catch all that in my inventory. We try to do that, and then we might sleep. Gonna go just enough to finish, or I break all this kitchen stuff down and take it to the other room. That could be 5 minutes or 15 or 35, 55, we don't know yet. We're going for less. Don't jump in. Those might be zooming up into boxes, which is how that mod works, but I think I captured it all. So let's do this. I don't need 3 fireplaces here. I'm still sleeping right here, so I don't need that all right here though. Alright. Hopefully caught it all. So we're looking for a butcher's table and spice rack, and we've got the prep table. And then we'll try to sleep. Oh, let me know, anyone who's ever been in food service. I was a fishmonger for many years, I like to say. Let's put it right there. Trying to get close. I don't know that I want to be that close. Let's say if this was a corner between that and that, it's right there. Let's push it in. Let's put this stuff up. Push it in so it's more even, and yet can still get between these. Yeah. Not quite. More even would be here. Yeah, let's go with that. Spice rack. Which way is facing? Let's do it over the prep table if it'll do it. Nope, too far from the cauldron. It'll do that, but I wonder if that'll be like in our face a lot. Yeah, that's very much in the face. Alright, let's do... Be a second, Seth. I don't know if you're trying to say hi. Don't want it out there. That might be interesting. Let's try that. Feeling like that's going to be in our face. So we can slide it up there a little bit. Oh, that's just right. Alright. See if we can get to sleep. The fun part. This is kind of decorating, but it's functional. I said I'd move the kitchen. And I think we're down with everything but the food part. I'm not going to do that for you guys necessarily. Hey, he was ready. Probably because you're listening in the stream. We got 11 people watching. Thank you very much for it. It's one reason why you probably almost always want to be empty-handed when you go to sleep, and screen out, that is, because I just tabbed out to see what's going on. And again, I'm probably going to take this back because it wasn't silver that I needed after all. But I'll take this back to the group area. Alright, so what else do we need to do to move the kitchen in there? It's pretty much just all the foods and the fermenters. Gotta figure out something to do with the fermenters. I do know what to do. Got a place for them. That place is out here. Now, let's see if we go in this hole, not here, in this hole, then we can put a... And yeah, I could be using the iron boxes, but I'm not. Put a series of these, just like is inside where they currently are. They've got 3 chests. And I'm okay with that. Alright, let's look. Crossbar. Well, if I hit shift, I can raise it up just a little. Put one of these. Can I still touch the chest center? No. So if I push it forward into the wall a little bit. I don't know if that's the way to go. Auto. Yeah, it's really snapping in here. Well, let's try this idea. guys have probably seen this done. Where you're sort of targeting that, and before it does that flip, there's a little more room. So you pull the lip forward. Onto that, I can put a beam. Now the trick is, can I put the fermenter on that with that beam there? And I think so, but we'll figure it out. Alright. Come on. Whoa! That was close. So this is the mod. If there's one inside there, it should go in. Alright. Bronze is the critical. I have to go find it in a box because it fell inside somewhere else. That's fine, but alright. Fermenter. There's the pipe. There we go. So look at that. It's sunk down in there just right. Now I don't know if that's partly into the wall. Not yet. Let's push it back a little. Push it back. Yeah, push it back a little, it stops. So that is where it shall live. You know, and this is totally legit because, you know, any self-respecting crew of Viking longship crew would have their own brew going, right? It sounds legit. Right. Just hop off the board in front. That might be too far back. Let's find out. Yeah, that's too far back. Alright. Yeah, touching in between the support beams, you know, it's fine. Alright. So there we go. So that's where those are going to be. So the brewmaster would start his need better lighting. The brewmaster would start it in the kettle, get his seed for the mead, his recipe, and then he'd go out back and put it in there. And you know, it's like vapors and bubbly and stinks, especially at first. So they would not have that necessarily in the kitchen. So out back under the lid is perfect. That actually looks pretty good. Looks very secure, like the wood is anchored in the wall and anchored in the beam. Looks pretty good. Alright, so we're going to call it good. Kettle is, cauldron is class 3, which is what it was. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, there we go. So far, that's what we got. The oven will go here. Obviously, I'll have to move that box. This is smoke channel. I could do the 45s, like I said. You could try the 45s, but I think that will erase that hole too much. It'll cover it up way too much. Because the side roofs are 45, you know, I think that'd be up on the roof. There, you could end up with an eave, you know, kind of a pocket smoke hole at the top. But it would kind of destroy the whole point of having that gaping smoke hole up here, which is what I was going for. Sort of a smoke loft, I don't know. that's what I was going for. All right, so this is not necessarily a get your buff location right here. Gonna have to sort out all those things. So what I'm gonna do off stream, before I see you guys, I'll probably be Wednesday when Rusty and Witchy are doing their 7 Days to Die. Please go follow Rusty at Rusty Laser Gaming and City Witch Gaming, and she streams more than YouTube's, but you can find her at YouTube City Witch and then click through. Go see her streams on Twitch. And they cross stream, and I've started joining them. Rusty encouraged me to do that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is take out this half of the house that you're seeing, because it's where everything is cooked. I'm going to move all the food. I'm going to build the wall that I'm standing on, wall of chests all the way up. This I'm going to lower. What did we lower it? This is already 1 meter from what we had as our scaffolding. We're going to lower it 1 more, so it'll be pretty much right at our eye level right now, just like that one is. So somebody on the ground could plausibly reach up. It's a little bit of a stretch, but you know, if you're, I might even have to push it up a little bit, because imagine you wake up in here and you're bonking your head on this. Oh, this is how some people do jump training, by the way. You get something that knocks you back down faster, even lower roof than that. Just keep click, 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 click till your stam's done. Anyway, so we're going to build the wall. I'm going to spend the time to get it where all that's lined up, because I don't like how that's lined up at all. But we're going to do that off stream. So we're going to have our guy, this first guy is going to have his, what is it, his item stand for his armor there. This will be a wall of chests. I don't know that I'm putting anything special in this corner over here. Room for future expansions. You know, there's more stuff, right? There's, I don't have to necessarily build all the benches for the future biomes. I'm building kind of a recreation here. I imagine we will have a more common house build when we're in the Mistlands and Plains, getting ready for Ashlands. We might have a more common build house, which you've seen Rusty do on everything. And in there, you know, you'll hit click on this and this and this and this, repair all 4 stations, you know. But I might. One of them is sort of a cooking looking. I don't know, not really. You know, that curved bench that you get in the future. If you don't know, then you don't know. That was close. So anyway, gonna move everything for the kitchen down here. Gonna take out most of the inside house, all of the roof. And I don't know, I think I'll leave decorating the armory for the next video, so we have something to look forward to. The barracks will have its own mess hall on one end, the kitchen, and the sleeping quarters in the middle, and then the armory on the far end. I will wait to finish the build of those things when I see you guys again. And I'm probably going to have to leave part of the build that exists in the way until then, but I'm looking at, what would that be, Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Rusty and City are going to stream usually their 7 days at 5 or 5:30, and I'm really trying not to step on their toes, and so I'm going to do 7 o'clock like I have on the first 2 videos of this build series. And so I've got a lot of things to do off stream in the meantime. Take off half this house, move the rest of the kitchen boxes stuff over here, and get the middle part all done, all the way up to, but not finished, the armory. So that'll be the focus of our next build. So let's go see where we're at. This was our focus for this time, was kitchen, and it's not perfect. That's coming down, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't bother putting it there. But I might, you know, I'll need for the shelf when it comes down, I might need a bracing shelf of some kind. I might figure out a way to make use of that. Maybe off of that there'll be that angle up. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I could also do it right here, but we need to be in range of that thing. So I got to play around with that. That sounds like off-stream stuff. We are going to be limiting our door. We'll swing right at the top of that. That'll be perfect, actually. That'll be fine. Alright, so that's where we're at on that. What did we finish? We finished the end. That is exactly what I had in mind. Exactly what I had in mind. Go around this way. This is the end of the arrow range. These, when I do the other build, I'll just let you know. One of the plans is to have that, you know, because this is obviously, you would use the adze outside. You would dry the tanning rack, you would stretch hides, you would chop wood, chalking block, you know. These would be outside. Not all of the forge items would be outside, but some of them might, you know. I can see if this is my door, I'll probably put the forge just inside. I have to finish this wall. I'll probably just put a 45 supporting that, get the beam out of the way. So let's just imagine the forge is right here with the huffer puffer, the bellows right here. You imagine the apprentice standing here, puff, 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 and the forge is over here. And so the man is banging away at it. He's got the door open for ventilation, and then he quenches out here, so the quench would go there. That would make sense. So, and then the other regular workbench probably will, you know, if this is the size of the armory, the regular workbench will probably go right over here. So I'm just letting you know. If you want to come back and see how that goes, I will wait to do all that. I might move the stuff, but I'll wait to do that when you're here for the next one. That'll be, again, Wednesday at 7. I plan to set it up for that. I'll probably stream live with Rusty and City on our playthrough on this server tomorrow and Tuesday. And let's go check what's going on. One last look at the fish. See, when it's not raining, that fire, the brazier comes on. It's just the right height. If I move it in, when I had it at that intersection there, my face was smashing right into the bellows, the belly of that. So maybe I can get the stuff and make one of the standing ones that'll sit right here, just tucked right in that crotch between. Yeah, let's do that. That would make sense. That would make sense. Because the heat is, going to go up. We want it to be right behind the fishermen. Yeah, let's do that. We'll get one of those floor braziers. So you'll see that next time too. Check on the pig farm. We started with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start over. 1, 2, 3, 4, as he was walking. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Man, that moving is throwing me out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is that 12? Which is honestly getting close to a culling. This palisade wall, I've mentioned. I'll show you that build idea. I'll show it to you right now. When you want to reinforce your, you need to be in range of wood first. When you want to reinforce your palisade wall, what it's connecting to, stake wall, adds its strength to it. So you can sink one of these into it. I was trying to do it right there. Because I was still on the same snap point. So you sink that into it, and whatever strength, they give each other their strength numbers. So you got the, we've survived I don't know how many raids here. Now, I have not had log trolls trying to smash my pigs. Honest. because one of the first things we do is come out and I immediately just start launching arrows at trolls, lead them away. We haven't had them down here in this part of the base, so not a true problem. But we've had them right up here, we've had them right up here, and we've had them on the beach over there at the end of the wall. So it's a legit question. Now, I don't expect that wall around the hogs to survive a troll smashing it. I don't expect that, but I expect it to survive one hit, and I'm hopefully there by then to save the pigs, you know, at least some. We had it happen where something came up here, probably a shaman, and gassed the hogs to death, and Salian and I spent an entire Valheim day, 20 plus minutes, pushing 2 pigs up here and back into the slot. And then when we got to wolves, we're upgrading big time. My hog farm remains, but we saved and restarted the hog farm from 0 because a troll fell down in there and killed them all, and or I don't know what it was. I think it was one of the Black Forest raids. Something fell down in there, probably a brute, and killed them all. And a shaman gassed the 2 up at the top to death. So we had to start all the way over. So that is legit. These guys were protected from all these raids. I mean, I've come and found skeletons and even brutes whacking away at these things and doing less than half damage by the time we were able to draw them away. It was easy. That far less than, 10-20%. Come back to heal it, and it's barely, you can barely tell. So that works. Building stuff. It's fun. This is such a great game for it. So I look forward to Salian coming on later and seeing, he challenged me to a build a fish hut thing, and I was like, okay, what you got? Your turn. So that looks much cleaner, doesn't it? Looks much more like the video with the facer board, I guess we call them, up there as well. Without the extra little wings on the roof that I like to do. It looks much more authentic. Looks much more like the video. I think the point of the view of the video, oh, that was close, is something like here, if I could be taller, of course, was the angle. And in the photo, it looks like a slope on the end of the roof, but it's just because of the angle. So this is pretty much the angle of the video's iconic photo of the Trellborg Barracks. And I think I'm hitting it pretty close enough. Gotta make it livable in Valheim. That's part 2. Yes, I put a workbench underneath there. Yes. And we'll call that a day. Where's my puppies? London and Toyful. And I'm gonna go check on Max. He's been good. I was saying I might have to go and he's, the normal lifespan on full-size Great Danes, pureblood, is 8 to 9 years. He's 13, coming on 14. And so that's the mod. There's a good demo of Rusty's mod. Announcing when someone joins y'all. So I'm going to tap out and say goodnight. But anyway, I got to go check on Max. He's been a good boy. He's house trained, but I'm guessing he's going to be in need of either food or going outside or both. So we'll take care of that. So thank you. Hope to see you Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Thank you all very much.